Peace and blessings off of Kuabo, aka show here at Radio Diamond. This is a special show today because remember, our show is every single Sunday from 1 till 3 o'clock, bringing the best of ourselves, bringing knowledge, bringing unity. It's about us. Remember, this is our parliament, this is our village, this is our way to sit down and create a platform just so we can really ask the questions that nobody really to ask. We just simply ask questions. We act like we don't know anything, but we know everything. Don't worry about us. So one more time, it's such a pleasure to be here doing this special show because we got a special guest here in the building that we're going to be breaking down a lot of stuff, including the black movement, because that's what it is. I'm your brother one more time, Alfa Kuabo, from the Queen Zinga's land. As you can see right on my chest, Queen Zinga blood, represent all day. So yeah, share the message. Let the family know that we totally live. We're gonna come in right back. So we're gonna be having. Remember, it's about connecting the three continents: the American continent, the African continent, and the European continent. So that's why we're gonna be having special. We're gonna have brothers and sisters from all over the world tuning in. Because remember, week in and week out, we're bringing people from all over the place: Ghana, Jamaica, Nigeria, Angola, Congo, Brazil, yes, because Brazil is the second largest African population outside Africa. Don't get it twisted. Brazil is an African nation. So don't worry, don't be with that hype of Bolsonaro, all the racism. No, we control that land as African people. We control that land. So even to some extent, even here in Europe, we control it anyway because we're the first. That's what it is. So share this message. We're gonna come right back. But we're going to be breaking down. So we're going to be having one of our brothers from Africa. And then check this music. So this is just the time of you getting yourself ready. And then we're just going to ask the questions. And then we demand the truth. Nothing but the truth. That's what it is. Tune in. And our special guest right here in the building, straight from the land of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, land of one of our great Professor James Smalls. Just the Africa based in America. That's all. Don't get it twisted. So we on the same boat. They African based in America. The same thing we got an African base in Jamaica. The same thing we got an African base in Europe. We all African. That's all. So tune in, and we're gonna be coming right back. Alfa Kuabo. Check this amazing track, African. Check this out.
Africa. 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 13 and beyond. Militant family. Body get down. This is a later. This one is a later. This is a later. From the ghetto youth teacher. Africa, we need to unite to make we stand tall. Africa, we need to come together to make we stand tall. Africa, we need to hold our hands to make we stand tall. Africa, we need to come together. Whether you be Nigerian or Liberian, South African or Ethiopian, Egyptian or Ghanaian, Ivorian, Gambian, whether you be Zimbabwean or Zambian, Algerian or Malian, Chadian or Moroccan, we are Africans. Africa, we need to unite. Africa, we need to unite. For the musicians and the footballers, yeah, me know. Oneness and unity is what we need. Helping each other is what we need. Preaching and teaching is what we need. Yeah, to know Africa history. Deep in my heart, I feel pity to see African artists fighting. In my eyes, me see it clearly. How the fans making this interesting by insulting, Snapchatting, tweeting and Facebooking. This love is what you for do. You for make one make Africa rule. This be what we for do. Promoting our music, make it fly, boom, make it fly, boom. You for remember, say, for remember.
Bring in my camera, because we ain't wasting no time. We ready. We ain't wasting no time. We're going straight to the point. So the question we're asking to our family worldwide, simple question. 2020, the white racism against African people worldwide will increase. That's why the statistic was saying. So 2020, the level of racism towards African people worldwide will increase. So the question we're asking you, what can we do as a family? That's the question. What can we do as a family? Because we know you going to the United States, we got brothers and sisters talking about building the wall. We come to the UK, we talk about brothers and sisters talking about Brexit. We going in France, people talking about, no, I forgot the word in French. But anyway, so the French brothers and sisters, they stepping up.
Oh yeah,
so they're stepping up, right? So we going to Africa. Oh, we got, next thing you know, you got the Chinese there. You got the Russians going over there. You got the Europeans that never left. They're going over there hard in the continent. So that's why we're asking you this question. What can we do? As we know, the 2020, the level of racism will increase. So answer me this question. So for more information, get in touch. We live everywhere. In your social network, we live. YouTube, we live. Radio Diamond, we live. Facebook, we live. We live on every platform necessary. So I don't want you to hear say, oh, you ain't told us that. No, that's what we hear. But please, brothers and sisters, don't tell the European yet, right? Don't tell the European, don't tell the Chinese, don't tell the Russian. Just keep it to ourselves here, right? This is our conversation. That's why this is our village. So without further ado, we got one of our special guests come all the way from the United States. Tell us your name, my brother, because we're going to go straight to the point. Tell us.
My song
He-
first, bro. You
oh,
gotta play my theme.
we no.
Brother Sabir Day.
No, we gonna play that. We're gonna play that, but we gonna straight to the point, brother. So tell us your name, because we saw your videos. We saw your videos. A lot of questions to the family. A lot of beef to some extent. Right. So that's why we say, you know what? It's such a pleasure to have you, my brother, because I know you and your tour. Tell us first, for those who don't have the clear mind, clear idea, your power, because as soon as you step in here, we felt it. Yes, we felt the energy. We felt you. We felt the energy.
I got Empress with me. That's probably why.
Okay, so tell us tell us your name and what you're doing for the family, my
Well,
brother.
first and foremost, I'm a father. If people say what you do, that's first and foremost. I'm a father. That's what we all should be talking about. I'm a radio personality. I've been doing radio for 15 years. I did film for about 6 or 7 years. Documentaries. I just did a short film with Brother Hawthorne James, Big Red for 5 Heartbeats. We just started a movie called Abandon Act also. We just finishing up a film called, what is it called? Heavy is the Crown. And we did also a film called Out of Darkness. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brother, are you from? Are you what city exactly you were born?
Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent
Philly.
most of my days.
Wow, Philly.
Philly, baby. The
Oh
best.
wow, that's what it is.
No
Philly.
doubt.
Wow. So, brother, first of all, help us to describe in your thoughts this year, because we see brothers and sisters all over the world moving around, Sankofa, people talking about Black Power, people to some extent they awaken a little bit the level of our consciousness. So, in your humble thoughts, are we ready? Are we ready for 2020? First of all, are we ready as family worldwide?
Can I answer the way I want to, right?
Go ahead,
when
brother.
You stay ready, you have to get ready.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Go ahead.
So you have to be staying ready. Period. It's no, are we ready for it? It's going to happen regardless. It's something that you can't stop. Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Wow. So then that leads the question. Help us. Your feedback this 2019. So brothers and sisters saying year of returning. Sankofa, and then we had our Baba Small yesterday, and then
Yes.
he also helped us to describe, because it ain't just about returning physically to the motherland, but even in our communities worldwide, we got to return in our community, returning to our family. So, what is your feedback for of 2019?
I would say return to your state of mind. I mean, I'm returning where? Where are we talking about returning to? Return to the state of mind. You know, I don't know if y'all, if the listeners is even familiar with Noble Drew Ali. Are you familiar with Noble Drew Ali?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Noble Drew Ali said, go back to who our forefathers was. And our forefathers were Moors. Go back to your state of mind. We keep thinking going somewhere else. Go back to the state of mind. That's what he's talking about. We keep looking for a physical place to be going back to. Why go back? My grandmother was born. My great-grandmother was 105, born in America. My grandmother was 80-something, born in America. My mother was 73 when she passed away. All three of them are gone. They all were born in America.
Okay, they're born in America. Great. So, but what is your thoughts about the connection between America and the motherland?
We won. Because if you studied the history, like for instance, I was in Spain. I spent some time in Spain, right? When I was in Spain, I didn't go on vacation. I was actually most people go to Barcelona. They go to places like that. I don't go to those places, but I visit Barcelona. It took me a while to go to Barcelona. Seriously, it was cheaper to fly in, but anyway, that's the only reason why. But when I was in Granada, I stayed there for about 3-4 weeks, and something was guiding me to the Alhambra. And I stayed in Seville for a couple of days when I went there. I wasn't on vacation. I don't know what a vacation looks like. So I was there talking to people. So when I was there, you could feel the ancestors. And I started talking to the native people that was there. And they started telling me about the darker people, the Moors who built the Alhambra. So now I'm walking through these little archways and going up to the Alhambra. There's a port called Santa Maria de Africa. I'm going to repeat this again. You can look it up for yourself.
Okay.
Santa Maria de Africa. It was probably 10 o'clock at night when I was walking. And as I'm walking, she said, look up. I looked up. And she said, do you see what I see? I said, well, what is it? She said, that was a port. So remember when I said I talked to the native people there? You know that Spain was part of Africa? Spain was not in Africa. It wasn't called Spain until 1492. Spain was called Andalusia. It was part of Africa.
Yeah, Andalusia, yeah.
Okay, so Spain wasn't Spain until 1492 when the Moors fell. So when I went there, it took me a minute to go to Morocco because I heard how they was mistreating our people in Morocco. I said, I don't want to go to Morocco. Went back home. A brother named Madid was saying, no, Sabir, go to Morocco. Don't listen to people. So when I went back over to Spain, I flew into Morocco. And then when I went to Morocco, I started hearing the people talk. I was in Tangiers. Marrakesh, Rabat, and Fez. It's a charge over here. I don't know if it's one right there on that side. But when I got there, I started talking to the people. And when I went to Marrakesh, there's a plaque that's there, right? And it talks about Morocco, and then it talks about Timbuktu, how far Morocco extended, all the way down to Timbuktu. So as I'm walking through the corridors in Marrakesh, there's corridors where it says the Senegalese Jews. In Morocco, in Marrakesh, there's places called Senegalese Jews. So I went down from Marrakesh, took a ride, about 3-hour ride from Marrakesh down to Rabat, and then to Fez, and where else did I go? Fez, Rabat, Tangiers, Casablanca. I was all up and down there. But when I got to Tangiers for my last trip, I caught the ferry from Tangiers over to Spain.
Right.
Now, if most people study Tariq, which was the Moor, Tariq was the Moor that crossed over the Rock of Gibraltar. So it's an hour boat ride to go, literally. It's like, for instance, I live in Long Beach. Long Beach, and there's a place called Catalina Island, as in the Catalonians in Barcelona. Catalina Island is an hour away from Long Beach from where I'm at, but on a good day you can see it.
Wow.
It's the same thing. So you got to remember, it's all the same. So what happens if you studied history, stuff get flooded. If you study history of Tunis, you know Tunis, certain parts of Tunisia was underwater. Yeah. Certain part of Marseille was underwater. Marseille is the first city in France. Who was there? We were there. Okay, yes. Moors, right?
Yes.
So we were there. So all these things were covered up underwater. So when you sit and talk to the native people and you know something, they'll say, come on in, let me talk to you for a minute. And then they'll start telling you the history.
Wow.
But the problem is with our people, a lot of Africans that I met when I was in Grenada didn't even know that we built that. I said, brother, have you heard of the Wolof in Senegal? Those were Senegalese that was all built these things. But Hollywood and media and schools had to portray these people as other than who they are. That's why they say we have to tell our story. Because in about 20 years later, 30 more years later, if nobody tell you about Elijah Muhammad, he's going to be Caucasian in a minute. If we don't tell a story, you follow me? So we got to tell a story and we got to go over there.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So all of that, I heard you talk about the 3 continents, Europe, Africa. What you say? What else you say? It was Europe, Africa, and who?
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
No. But,
Jamaica.
Caribbean.
No, you did. You said Jamaica. You said Europe.
Europe, Africa, and America.
And America, right?
Yeah, American
They
continent.
were all the same. You can catch a boat from to and from. Waters come up, waters goes down. Why you think they saying they finding stuff underneath the water? Remember the song by the Osley Brothers? It's called Voyage to Atlantis. I will always come back to you.
Yes.
Her coming back, rising back up again. I was in Texas when the flood went down. If we didn't have technology today, right, we would think it would be the end of the world. That's how it looked in Texas when I was there. If we didn't have internet, Facebook, YouTube, all this technology we have today in the news, we would think it would be the end of the world. Be like, wait a minute, it's flooding outside. You see what I'm saying? And when you're in Texas, every time it rains, it seeks further down. Most people don't even know that. Every time you have a rainstorm or a flood like that, it seeks further and further down. Where's it going at?
So then leads to the weather control, because obviously we've been in Mozambique. You probably saw the flood that happened in Mozambique, the cyclone. So do you reckon it's really a man-made thing now?
Nah, man, it's nature.
It's
Nature's going to cleanse itself, bro. Trust me. All the stuff that we doing, it's going to take its course. That's all you got to do is watch nature. Pay attention to nature. Look, listen. I was walking up into the Atlas Mountains when I was in Morocco. There was an Indian guy there. I'm watching his daughter. Now, I don't know if y'all know about the Atlas Mountains. You got to walk up, brother. You got to go up. So as I'm walking with an Indian dude, his wife, his daughter was 12, his son was 8. And as we walking up in the Atlas Mountains, literally it's dangerous because you'll slip, you'll fall, you might go over the edge. That's how it is. He's walking and talking to me about what man is doing to the planet. He said we are destroying the planet. This is the Indian dude walking with me because he kept asking me where was I from. He said we are destroying the world. We are. It ain't nobody else is doing it. We're doing it.
so that as African black people, melanated, whatever you want to call yourself, you will connect with the nature.
You got to be in connection with nature.
So do you reckon that's why the so-called white peoples, they're against the black, because they say black people have no friend. We don't have no friend all over the world.
Let me tell you.
Is that true?
Listen, my mom told me that when my brother got killed there when I was 10 years old. My brother been dead. My brother got killed when he was 25. I was 10. My mother told us that you don't have friends, period. If you talk to my siblings, you hear every last one of them say this. You have no friends. Your friends is the one that will pull a trigger on you real quick. So come on, is it really about the complexion of the people? But I do know what Europeans have done to us. But I can tell you why they dislike us.
Why?
Because they know exactly who we are. If you talk to any European and bring up Moors, Moriscos, Moranos, Moros, they're going to tell you, yeah, we know who those people are. They was running everything. Talk to somebody from Senegal and just get into a deep conversation with them, for real. And just start bringing up the Moors and start bringing up Cape Verde and talking about what happened at the door of no return. Who sold us into slavery? You think it was just the Arabs? No, it was Spanish. It started in Portugal. That's why I went to Portugal.
Oh, go anyway. Hold on, my brother. That's what I like to see, because
I want to Portugal.
Hold on, brother. You know what? Let me tell you something, my brothers. For far too long, I've been keep saying we sleeping on the British, we sleeping on the French, but we forget about the Portuguese.
Yes.
Explain to us, brothers, about the Portuguese, because the Portuguese, after the Arabs, before the Arabs. They didn't want to. By the way, they didn't want it to end the human traffic. We call human traffic. They didn't want to end. They went out there, they killing, slaughter everybody. So the question to you: what is the impact of the Portuguese that people don't really talk about it because of the language barrier? Maybe, I don't know. But why people don't talk about the Portuguese though?
Because maybe they don't know. Maybe the ones who do know ain't gonna tell. Let me share something with you. This book I just showed you, Portuguese in West Africa, 1415 to 1670. Do you know that a HBCU told a student, a HBC is a black college in the States. So in the States, the professor told the student that she could not come out of this book because it is a conservative school. The professor had the exact same book in the office. So who is telling us, who is misleading us? And they told her that she called me and she was upset. Said she told me I couldn't come from the book because it's a conservative school. Who gives a darn about a conservative school? Tell the truth. That's why I told you earlier. Tell the truth or leave the country. Ibn Khaldun said this. We're not telling the truth. So let's go back. If you study Portugal, if you study Spain,
go ahead.
You will understand the history. So that was the breaking point. What we do as people. What do we do as people? Right? If you talk about Ethiopia, right?
Yes.
That was the first people who was teaching people the right and wrong. It's in our nature. We embrace everybody. Come on in.
Never be colonized.
Exactly. No, but we'll say, come on in. Let me teach you something. Don't we do that?
Yes.
Listen to our conversation with so-called black folks.
Family. We
all right. There's nothing wrong with that, but the thing is that you have to control it. You have to control it. If the Europeans, and I don't say white, if Europeans are your children and they come from you, then you put your children back in check. That's all you do. When your child get out of line, what do? Do you sit up and tell somebody else, or do you say, listen, I'm going to tell you this?
Yes.
You put them back in check. You
Right.
follow me? So again, if you study the history of Portugal, I went to the Moorish castle in Portugal. Most don't know about the Moorish castle. That's all you have to do is Google the Moorish castle in Portugal.
Oh,
you'll see it.
Ooh, talk to me, brother.
So what is it about our people that they're not talking about this information? This is why I said free the people by telling the truth.
Ooh, brother, bring my camera. You see, bro, you touching the right point, because obviously some of our scholars, they know about it.
Yes, they do.
They know about it, but they don't talk about it because they quick bang it on the British, but they don't talk about the French. Our French until today locked Africa in chain completely. Until today.
Yes.
Until today. French locked Africa. Until today, the Portuguese, they still don't want to get out of Africa.
No.
Until today.
Why would they? They comfortable.
So tell him, my brother.
Let me tell you why, brother.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. I want to hear you.
Listen.
I want to hear you, my brother.
We are comfortable people. Let me share this. What it is, bro. We are. If you studied history, we never stayed in one place. Our people moved from one place. Exactly.
Yes.
We would call it. Now the Europeans have taken on the term gypsy. Gypsy was us. The Torag, all those terminologies, that was us. We never stayed in one spot. We would build, leave, okay, stay here for a minute,
build and move.
So when I was in Spain, I'm on the buses, right? I'm catching buses for like 11 hours from Granada to Barcelona, or an hour and a half, and I'm sitting on the buses like, man, how did they do this back in the day? You had to chill out somewhere. You know, in my brain, it works like I'm like, come on, we were doing this, right? Yeah. So we were the Turags, we were the Arabs, we were all these people, because it really means a person that moved from place to place. That's all it really is. You follow me?
My brother.
So we sit here and talk about the Portuguese. If you were comfortable, I'm gonna show you how we are in the States. We're comfortable than a mug, G. I don't want to move nowhere. I don't want to travel. No, why should I? I can go to Miami, G.
I don't know passport.
Miami right down the street. I ain't got no passport. I'm going to go right down the street. Oh, Atlantic City's popping. Hey, I'm going to go to Atlantic City's right up the street. We're comfortable. But the one thing the feds in the States don't let you do, brother, is get comfortable. The feds don't let you get comfortable. We're comfortable. And that's why the Portuguese don't want to leave. They got comfortable. So think about the colonization. We're thinking. This is why Nas had a song said the problem is you started thinking like the colonists.
So that leads to the question. You obviously, brothers, we still live. You know what? We got one of our powerful brothers in Jamaica send a message. He's gonna ready to jump in. But what the brother's saying makes sense, because we as African people, we don't want to move.
No,
we too lazy to move.
We comfortable.
So we comfortable. So the question to you, bro, why so many brothers and sisters in America, they don't have passport. You see, like 50, 70.
This always
years
comes
old.
up. This comes up all the time, man.
I need to know because, like, so many African countries, even like right in the continent, from 10-5, you need to get your passport. It's like
Hold on. You gotta say this one more time, brother.
Probably it's a state of survival. Like, I need to get my passport to move. I gotta move.
It's like said 10. What ages?
Like 10, 5 years old, 10 years. Everybody got to get the passport because you got to move. It is about, because if something happened here, you can be have a war right there. You got to move to another country. And then sometimes we get it legally or illegally. So we don't care about no border. Let me make it clear. African people in the continent, they don't care about no border.
No.
They just go over there, pay the official. Oh, give me the money. Oh, you want liquor? Give me the liquor. You get in. That's what we roll.
You know what I have a saying?
So why?
The border should be illegal, not the people.
Exactly. So why the brothers and sisters in America until today, they don't really care about the passport?
I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
All right, listen. Because of the way we grew up and the way even with the women, because a lot of brothers cannot leave because of a thing called child support. I was with a brother from Nigeria when I was in London. Two brothers. One of them is 20 years old. The other brother, a little older. But he was saying the same thing you said about why we don't have passports. And the reason why is because sometimes you may have a bitter baby's mom. You know what I mean? And she may say, well, to be spiteful, I'm going to take him to child support court so he can't leave, even though the individual may take care of the child. You follow me? So what happens is the mentality. Remember I said go back to the state of mind, our mind, our mental. Our mental is what we got to fix. So some brothers cannot travel is because the mothers are spiteful and they say, well, I'm going to take you to child support court. I can see if a brother didn't take care of their child. Yeah, but you go to an elder, right? And this is what I'm saying about the community again. We supposed to have people that we can go to make sure that individual do he's supposed to. Or you supposed to know the individual that you're going to be dealing with.
Right.
But see, what happens, we go to the European and tell the European, oh, he's not doing this. Or you want, it's because my brother right now served in the Iraq war.
Okay.
Hell of a father to his daughter and his son. But the mother was spiteful and said, yo, I'm going to have, and listen, this brother took care of his child. I'm dead serious. He hit me up and said, Sabir, I can't even go nowhere because of child support. It's a thing called rears.
So literally they lock you in
They lock you in.
Right. We even by you being free, but you still locked.
Exactly.
So that leads to the question, my brother. Now, what about them? Because at the end of the day, we got to move. Are we ready? Are we really ready for the 2020? Because if everybody agree, like the white racism or the European racism, or I don't care what you're saying, will increase next year. So what are you preparing to do, my brothers? Brothers is from all over the world. I can see brothers from Ghana listen to the show, brothers from Jamaica listen to the show, brothers from the continent, from here in Europe listen to the show. What are you preparing to do? So that's the question to you, my brother. What can we do as a family?
Listen,
if that
educate the people, brother. I mean, listen. When I'm traveling, brother, these are learning tools. I was in Tunis with the brother his brother was the one that started the Arab Spring. He changed that whole Tunis, man. The brother that set himself on fire, he changed that whole system in Tunisia, brother. And I was with the brother who set himself on fire. And he said, Sabir, teach the people in the States to be themselves and never give up. I'm sitting with him in a place that you would say, whoa, this is crazy. In the restaurant that I was in, it looked like bombs over Baghdad. I say this all the time. It looked like that. Straight up. I'm sitting in a restaurant. Why am I in this restaurant? And why am I sitting? He's sitting telling me, yo, teach the people to believe in themselves, man. He said, teach. He said, because and never give up. And I'm sitting like, okay, I don't think they want to hear. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hear that. For first and foremost, we got to kill a noise about the white people because there's no such thing as a white race.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, my brother.
This
go
sweat
ahead.
is white.
Go ahead.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
break
it down.
White, right?
Yes.
This is black, right? I don't think you darker than mug, right? You don't look like this.
Yeah, to some extent, yes.
You don't look like this. You're brown, brother. You're a darker brown.
Okay.
Okay? You're not black, brother. You're brown. If you take a child that's 10 years old and ask the child, take them like your complexion, and take something black, let's use common sense, and ask them what color is the skin and what color is this, and watch what a 10-year-old tell you. They're going to say, I'm brown, right? they're going to say I'm brown. They're not going to say I'm black. So who created the term black? That's not an ancient word, brother. Let's keep it real. It wasn't. That term didn't even come into the 1500s. Read books like J.A. Rogers. When J.A. Rogers said Ethiopian and Moors were properly used to describe the so-called blacks until the 1500s. So before that, we were not called those terms. So even the brother who started Negro Week that you call Black History Month, Carter G. Woodson, he didn't call us black. He said Negro Week. How do you get... So think about the craziness right now. So now you have people who's coming from the States coming to these places calling people black, and they don't call themselves black. But you're going to neglect the one that says Moor, but I'm black, brother. No, brother, all Moors are not African. Moor mean African. What do you mean? Come on.
So then why they're trying to distance themselves from being Africa?
Who distance themselves? No, they don't. What more you talk to?
Yeah, some of our brothers and sisters.
I don't think you understand them. That's the problem.
Yeah, go ahead. We want to hear that.
You may not understand why they saying it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay?
We hear.
So I don't distance myself from my people.
Yeah, break it down.
We all one. If you study the history, I don't care what nobody says. You do the research on find out who the Moors are. You follow me? You do it, and then you're going to keep seeing the connection to Africa. So we were in the Caribbean, the Moors that was in the Caribbean. The first people that was called Indians was Jamaicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans,
yeah,
and Bahamas. Those were the first people that was called Indians. They were still Moors. Period. They were melanated people. So we're not disconnecting ourselves from them. We are them. But the problem is people hear what they want to hear, and they take a little bit and run. Oh, I got what I need, and they run.
Okay.
You follow me?
Okay.
It says, so let me research this for 1 second. If you go to my YouTube, I'm going step by step showing you the Moors from West Africa. I can show you the Moors in Guinea in this book. The Moors
and the Moors in China as well.
No, but what I'm saying though, it's in here. So how are we not Moor Africans? Where's Guinea at? Where's Guinea? It's in West Africa, right?
Yes.
Okay, then there you go. So was that complicated? No. So did I disconnect myself from being an African?
Not at all.
Okay then.
So then that leads to the question. Give me my camera. Brothers, get in touch, right? Get in touch. We got our brother here. Brothers Sabir.
Sabir Bey.
Sabir Bey.
Just put X.
Okay. Sabir. We just put Sabir X from Philly.
I'm a Bey, brother. No, I was just joking. I'm a Bey.
Okay. So spirituality means a lot. So we see the Haitian Revolution. We kick the Europeans just with our spiritual power. So why we disconnect ourselves from our spiritual side, especially our African spirituality. I don't care what you say, but my brothers, that's the question for you.
We disconnect
ourselves. Why we are so disconnect from our spirituality?
Because we strayed after the gods of Europe.
Because we too afraid of our spirituality.
Let me tell you, I just said we strayed after the gods of Europe. Listen, if you study religions, the reality, all religions did come from us. Like for instance, I talk to Christians. When you talk to a Christian, right? If you ask a Christian about true Christianity, ask an African what is true Christianity. I see the piece on your neck. I've been peeping at pieces. I've been in here. Who is that on your neck?
Here?
Yeah.
That's Zinga, Queen Zinga.
Okay.
That's Queen Zinga.
Okay. Now look, ask the person what is the true form of Christianity. Do you know?
Go ahead. We're here to educate ourselves. Go ahead.
It's from Ethiopia. It's called, the Bible is written in Ge'ez. It's called Tawahido. It's Orthodox. That's true Christianity. We're not talking about King James version of a Bible.
Tawahido.
That's the problem. Listen to what I just said again. We caught up in dogma, not religion, because we don't understand what religion is.
Mm-hmm.
Religion means to realign yourself back. Religions. To go back to your spiritual self. We lost it. We lost it. Because we strayed after the gods of Europe. So now what we are doing today, we're not getting religion, we're getting dogma. My God is this, your God is this. Or we sitting in some, like black folks in America talking about the trauma cup. My trauma was worse than your trauma. Mm-hmm. Yo, slavery was worse with us. You battling over whose trauma is the worst. Instead of trying to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem can be fixed, but nobody wants to fix the problem because when the truth comes, they fear it. They don't want the truth. Because now I can't make no money. I can't make no money off of it no more. We were spiritual beings. When I went to Kewan and I'm studying the history of the Moors in Kewan and Hammamed, They said when they was coming in with Islam, we had our own spiritual system. The Moors were not just Muslims. That actually was, I want to say it was forced on us, but we had our own. It was called the Amazigh. You should research Amazigh. The Amazigh people had their own, which was actually us, or they call us Barbars. Or the Barbars are the people that rebelled. That's why they called us Berbers or barbarians. Barbarians, as in Conan the Barbarian. He was a barbarian. He was us. If you study him, if you study where he's from, his name means swarthy nigga. Schwarzkopf, as in swarthy Pete. People don't put two and two together to find out what is going on. That's why I came here.
Hold on, brother. talking about Ethiopia, the power of it, the influence of Ethiopia
powerful,
around
brother.
the world. We got one of our special brothers right from the land of Marcus Garvey, right from the land of great Bob Marley.
Jamaica.
So tell us your name and where you calling from, my brother.
Blessing afternoon. Blessings to you, brother Kuabo. Blessings to our African family, both at home and abroad. This is Ras Ho-Shing, Paulus by my Ethiopian baptism name. I am Ethiopian Orthodox Tehido Christian, not by the forms and fashion of the Grecian or the Roman, but as it was given to our founding fathers, our great prophets and priests of the Ethiopian, which is an African reality. So blessings to you, my brother.
So, brother, going straight to the point, tell us, educate a little bit the power of Ethiopia, because people forget about Ethiopia. People put Ethiopia under the bus. We talk about Nigeria, we talk about South Africa, we talk about all these great countries. What about the power of Ethiopia, my brother? Because Ethiopia has a big role to play in the future of Africa and had a real role to play in the beginning of time in Africa. Explain to us about Ethiopia, my brother, real quick.
Well, my brothers, as you know, the world knows that Ethiopia is part of the African. It is Upper Kemet. It is where the beginning of civilization. It is the fountainhead of knowledge, of all faculty, of all interpretation, whether it is scientifical, whether it's an economical revelation that reveal the great order of divinity, the fullness of Melchizedek order. We have maintained this for hundreds of thousands of years. It has maintained us. That is why His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, the power of the Holy Trinity, is a fullness of that reality in this dispensation. And you know, those who don't understand, Ethiopia is the head fountain. It's the head of Africa. We speak of the body that was being enslaved for over 7,000 years, and more recently from the European of the last 600 years, right? The body was totally enslaved, but the head has always maintained its freedom. As you know, we've never been conquered. That means that our revelation that came in the form of flesh that manifests in our ancestors, that has remained with us, that has kept us going from that time of creation to the time that we're in. And as what we said, we go by the Ethiopian calendar, which declares the 2012 from the 11th of September of the 2019 Julius Pope Gregory, which is the Roman calendar that thought they changed time. But we, Ethiopian, have always maintained the original as it was given to us from the first day that the Word took on flesh and man was created.
Hold on out there. Why, brothers and sisters, hold on right there, my brother. Why? Great. Why so many brothers and sisters, they trying to renegade Ethiopia to just a little African country that's there. So what? No, there's so many countries.
I already know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, there's so many countries, brothers. They're trying to put Ethiopia like, oh, it's just a little country in Africa. Oh, the skinnies and no.
Brother,
so
let me
help us to really describe Ethiopia.
I want to thank
real
my
quick.
brother, because honestly, I'm glad he's on here. And if I'm lying about something, he can tell you that I'm lying.
Okay, he listened to you. He's on.
Now, if you study, the whole of Africa was called Ethiopia. all of Africa. It was called the. It's coming also from the term called the Afar. There's a tribe in Ethiopia called the Afar, or Africa. It ain't coming from those reciprocal Africanos, brother. It's actually Africa, the Afar tribe. You can spell the I with the E, or Africa, E-I, same, D-T-C-K. When he's talking about Tawahido, we're not talking about modern day Christian. Tawahido means one. Tawheed means one. Don't they say that in Islam?
Yeah, yes.
Tawheed?
Tawheed, yeah.
Tawahido means one. Both of them means the oneness. It's the same thing. So what happens, why are we only talking about Africa as that little part, Ethiopia, as if that's all it is, when the whole of Africa was Ethiopia. This is why you heard me say in J.A. Rogers' book, he said before the 1500s we would call Ethiopians and Moors. The word for Moor in Ethiopia is the Zegwe. Zegwe is the Cushites. The Cushites are the modern day Moors. Those are the same people. So who switched these things up? Who changed it? But if you don't understand the language, like he just said about the calendar, that's why people say, how old are you? What is it about this? Dude, I don't deal with time and age the way they do. I don't celebrate this because it's not mine. I celebrate the Miska. The Miska is the burning of the cross in September. Ask him about that. We burnt the cross first. They didn't burn the cross. We did that.
Wow.
Adidas, and when I came in, I was talking to you about the DC Baba.
Yeah.
It means new flower. Why you think the symbol of Adidas on a sneaker? Why you think that flower was on that sneak? You think it's just there? Where did it come from? They stole the idea from Ethiopia. The Germans did. Those sneakers, Pumas and Adidas, is from Germany.
Wow, going straight to Jamaica, my brother. We don't wasting our time.
Come on, man.
Brother.
It is wonderful to have another brother that fully understand the reality of Upper Kemet, which is modern day Ethiopia. But as what our brother said, the entire continent is the Ethiopic. When the Greek came in, they call it Ethiopia. They call it Ethiopia. That is when, because their pronunciation, but it was always up until 1650, the Atlantic Ocean between the west coast of Africa and the Caribbean was known as the Ethiopic Ocean. So, you know.
So the question to you, brother, the question to you is a fact. Why the European hate so much Ethiopia? I'll answer me this question, my brother. Why the European, they hate so much Ethiopia? Because when they talk about Ethiopia, the media campaign about Ethiopia, brothers, in Africa, because what my brothers here, wherever country you go in Africa, they put in our mind that Ethiopia is about starvation, war. By Ethiopia, they went hard, brother. Oh, Ethiopia, they went hard.
Really?
They went hard in Ethiopia, my brother. So, and then we had this conversation off air, but let me elaborate more, brother. Why the European, they hate Ethiopia so much?
No, it's not European. It is wrong to say European. What you should say, that the European Confederate kings and queens who calls themselves kings and queens, obviously their sovereignty have no meaning, because without Ethiopia there would be no sovereign heads of Europe. And because of that, as you know, my friend, the Western European sovereign heads all came together in one accord to destroy the kingdom of Ethiopia under Mussolini, the Pope of Rome under Mussolini in the 1930, that brought up about the Second World War. So, you know, when we know our own black history, not the European folklore history, no, the real history of civilization. Civilization came from the Upper Nile Valley. Upper Kemet, Lower Kemet was Egypt. And the rest of the whole of the continent was known as Ethiopia, the entirety of it. It's only until 7,000 years the first invasion came across the Sahara Desert and the Red Sea. And that was why Northeast Africa fell under this new religious interpretation that called themselves Islam. So you see, my beloved brother Kuabo, once you have the knowledge of the Upper Nile Valley, you're very easy able to connect the dots of civilization, because without Upper Kemet, you wouldn't have India, you wouldn't have China, you wouldn't have the Grecian, you wouldn't have the Roman, you wouldn't have no civilization. Man would...
That lead to the question, brother. That lead to the questions. It's, you know what? The show's moving fast. Damn, I think we need about 5 hours with this show. But anyway, we're gonna try to make sure we compare everything. So, talking about going back, because brothers and sisters they're rushing out, but they talking about going back to Africa without fully understand what Africa's about or what Ethiopia is about. So help us to describe, bro. 2020 is going to be people claiming that the European powers, they're going, or whoever power it is, they're going to be hard on the African people. So what is your thoughts about it?
My beloved brothers, the conquering lion of Judea has prevailed and opened the seventh seal. Both the beast and the dragon, there will be no mercy shown against the beast and the dragon. We know the fullness of what brought in, what the dragon came in, and who empowered the beast to do all his wickedness that he has been doing for the last 600 years of him. But it goes back from longer than that, my beloved brothers. But we who know that reality, we also know in the 2012 revelation, earth rightful rulers will repossess the earth. There's many world that was created by men in their little forms and fashion, but is the creator supreme of the universe who created earth. And when he created earth and spoke the word, and it took on flesh, it is we that the earth was created for. And every civilization must be given their time to fulfill the fulfillment of themselves. One thing we know, Brother Kuabo, we're now in the 2012 reality. Earth rightful ruler will repossess earth. Global warming is not just about remittance of man fuel. It is also the earth is going to go through a fire that man has never encountered. And if we don't have our knowledge of ancient Upper Kemet and the fullness of Ethiopia, and it's not that we need to go back in time, because our Ethiopian Orthodox Teahido is still here with us. Abuna Hishak, Abamandefro was sent by the church and by his imperial majesty to bring the true Christian faith to the African people that was totally subjugated and totally enslaved with new interpretation that came out of the Roman crucifiers of the Christ, Iosos Christos. So my friend, it's bigger than we. It's greater than we. It's wider than we. It's deeper than we. And it's higher than we.
Going back to the studio here with our special guest, obviously.
I'm feeling, man, because this is the reality. This is the, we call it the end wake-up call.
Okay.
They're going to get their wake-up call. It's coming. And it's like trying to hide the light, Jay. Like, even when I'm on Facebook, I see people who don't travel, who don't do their research, who go to Google, who go to Wikipedia, who go to YouTube and trying to find information, but they should get on the plane like you said, brother. Get a passport and go travel and sit with these people and see what's going on. I sat with the Ethiopians. I used to go to an Ethiopian Tawahedo church in Boston every Sunday. And they would say, well, I thought Sabir was a Muslim. Brother, it's the same thing. Do you understand where Bilal was from? Bilal footsteps would get to paradise, and nobody's footsteps would get to paradise before Muhammad. Peace be upon him. But Bilal was an Ethiopian who was the first one that called the Adhan to prayer, the Allahu Akbar. One and the same. Tawheed, Tawahedo means one. There's over 90 nations in Ethiopia. People think it is just one No. You got the Afar, you got the Oromo, you got the Mercy tribe. You got many tribes of Ethiopians, and they look dark as you. But the only ones they show is the lighter ones. But there's many different ones. So we got to start making, like the brother said, connecting the dots to all of this. And this is the one thing that the European don't want, that you call white man. He don't want us to do that. No, keep them fighting. I can make money off of them fighting. Go ahead, no problem. You're greater than me. Your trauma cup is better than mine. Yo, you had it worse. But if you talk to that brother, ask him when did slavery stop in Ethiopia? In 1940s. So we always doing it. Wow. It's about not to repeat it again. Wow. We can't repeat it, but we are repeating it, brother. It's coming right back with our own people. And this is why I was on the journey. I'm traveling to sit with. I'm not in no 6, 7, 8-star hotel. There's one out there. But anyway, I'm not sitting in it, bro. I'm sitting with the people trying to find out really what happened. They said, "You crazy, man? Why are you going over to Spain?" Because slavery started over here in Seville. Do you know what happened in Seville? Seville is a field in Seville, Spain, and before they started cutting our heads off in the States, they was doing that in Seville. They used to have a bonfire in the middle of the center city in Seville where they would cut our heads off, have parties, and hang us, the Moors, in Seville before it happened in the States. How many of our Pan-Africans know this?
Going back to Jamaica real quick.
Remember,
going back
Brother
to Jamaica.
Kuabo.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Our brother in America mentioned the celebration of Masca. You see, many of our African people who was called themselves academia and historian, they're under this weird hallucination that the white man wrote the Bible. The white man could not have wrote the Bible, my beloved brother. The white man translated, interpreted, and made many mysteries of it, but he could not have wrote it. If he did, the whole of Europe would have been written in the Bible. So, you know, and when I hear many of our people speak about Christianity being a white man thing, no, you need to understand our black Christ, Iesus Christos. You need to understand what Ethiopia, what came to we, the African people from the Almighty. And then you will understand the fullness of what your spirituality is, because every spirituality must have a faculty of representation. It must have representation. It must, whether it's good, whether it's evil, you know, it must have a faculty. Well, our revelation that came out only Mount Zion, from out of the order of the priestical, right, is what we refer to as the Ethiopian Orthodox Tehido. And what the brother said, it means one, totally one. Because when we speak of the great order of divinity, we speak of the greatness that created the universe. So how can man question what is possible and impossible for the creator when he's the creator of the entire universe, which means he's greater than the universe? That is just shows you the foolishness of man. It just shows you the little people trying to questioning God, trying to say that he couldn't have a Mary. God couldn't have a woman to bring forth his only begotten son from a womb of a woman. God can do anything, whether it's possible, impossible, whether it's imaginative, whether it's hallucinative. God can do anything, my brother.
So, obviously, going back.
Everybody say I'm calm. He's not mad. The brother on the phone is not mad.
No,
that.
Go ahead, my brother.
Brother is very, very passionate, and sometimes I want to go off the hinges with some of these so-called blacks in the States, because the stuff that I hear and I see, it's just that I'm a vet in what I do. I'm very calm, but I will get you to listen to me, to understand me. So I'm very calm, and I know my research. And people say, well, you think you know everything. No, I only know what I research. You follow me? And not just taking what someone says. He's very right in what he's saying. How could you, listen to this again, how could you be the greatest people on this planet, the ones that he cannot get rid of? Do you know that, have you ever heard of Carter, what's his name? Carter used to be the boxer. It was a boxer. He had a movie out. And he said, you can't break something you didn't make. He was a boxer that got locked up, Carter something, and he was in a jail cell. He said, you can't break something you didn't make. So we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Why are we worrying about what the European is doing? So the only way he can do it is to actually integrate or infiltrate, like they did the Alhambra, because the only way they can do is infiltrate us and then break us within. You follow me? So what happens is that with the brothers, he's very passionate about what he's saying. But we are dealing with people, like he said, the academias in the States. Those people, oh, I know this, and this is what happened. We was great slaves. Nah, dude. Let's go before slavery and find out what happened. This is why I don't rock with the white supremacy. White supremacy is a theory. It's not a fact. I'm going to say this again. White supremacy is a theory, not a fact. So.
And then by you talking about white supremacy, you give them a power.
There you go. So what do you do
Yeah.
to an individual?
Yeah, you give
You
them a
strip
power.
them of their power, right?
And
Come on, man.
that's a good question. That's a good thought about our brothers.
Thank you,
Because-
Hurricane Carter. Thank you, my brother.
Because
His
if
name is
you
Hurricane Carter.
yeah, if you keep on just because I've seen so many brothers and sisters trying to really get our ancestors into just slaves all during the slave time. Our ancestors have never been a slave. They've been captured. They've been prisoners of war. So help us to explain to explain that, because I've seen so many brothers and sisters trying to give power to somebody that doesn't really have power.
Let me tell you something, man.
Go ahead.
Remember this. Remember this, my brothers.
Yeah, real quick. Go ahead, brother.
The African woman is the mother of all children of earth. Right? But the African nature of the man is not the father of all of them. So what you're going to have, just as when the Arabians came across the Sahara Desert, when we speak of what the British and the European has done, right? It is the Arabians that came across and completely destroyed all the blacks' villages and incarcerated and castrated the black men. But they took their women with them and created harems all over and breed them, and other children was created out of them. Just the same way the European has done it. Where the European, you have one that is known as a mulatto, that was more like him. You had the brown one that was allowed to stick around, but you also had a black one that came out black. And Baka Master realized how to use this one, because this one was able to tarry with us and was able to go back and tell Baka Master everything that was being planned against him. Those are the first militia groups that was created out of them, because you'll find that many of the history that has been written by the European is based upon a folklore history. And those who they say fought against them were actually the first collaborators of them, because they changed their name from African and took on European names, and they took on European titles.
Bring my camera. You know what, brothers? I'm getting bombarded with calls and messages. Let me tell you, doing this show is not easy, right? Because you got to manage the technical side, and so it's like, but it's fun. I love it because we connect all over the world. So we still in Jamaica. We're going straight to the land of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all those great warriors. Tell us what your name, where you coming from, my brother.
Amar, Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York. So obviously you heard the questions, brother. So we bring your camera right now. So obviously, real quick, introduce yourself to the family. Tell us what your name and what you doing for the family, real quick.
Again, Maury, Rochester. I focus on our spiritual, our physical, and financial well-being. Currently, right now, my queen and I, we're real estate investors, and we're pretty much focusing on helping people to build business-based wealth in the economy. And also, like our brother Sabir Bey talks about quite frequently, my brother, I just want to say I salute you, man. I follow your body of work. Also, just helping us to be able to get our rights indigenously as well, to be able to start claiming what's rightfully ours. So being that what we're talking about to bring in this new year, that's what we need to capitalize on is getting what's rightfully ours. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking about it and just get it in. Doing what we need to do legally, spiritually, as well. All the above what our brothers is talking about.
Go straight to the question real quick, brother, because obviously we need to go back to the motherland too, because we're still waiting. So so quick question to the family. So 2020, so the statistics shows those so-called whites, they're going to increase the racism against black people. What are we preparing? What can we do as a family worldwide?
Worldwide, what can we do as a family is interconnect, start doing business with one another. These answers are simple to these so-called complicated problems. The bottom line is, I like to keep it simple. We know that we're one, period. And I mean, that's just simply the bottom line. Working with one another, like for instance, ourselves, we have a clothing business. This is not just trying to get a drop, but I'm just saying that I'm practicing what I'm preaching as well. Us actually doing business with Ghana. We do business with Kenya. You know what I'm saying? We actually doing another big deal. I'm not going to speak about that right now, but we're doing big business over there as well. Just interconnecting, like the Honorable Peace and Blessings be upon him, Marcus Garvey was talking about doing and what have you too, is just connecting as family and working together, man, helping to educate one another, because we all know, the lack of knowledge as it relates to doing business in the economy on a global scale. You know what I'm saying? Our people over there, as you know, my brother dearly, that's what we lack, is that knowledge of how to do business. Because we could be spiritual all day long, but we got to put food on our table. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to know about, trading and commerce. We have to understand importing and exporting. So how can we do this? Interconnecting those of us who have this knowledge and this wisdom and this understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like Brother Akon is doing, like Brother Sabir doing, yourself doing, bringing everybody together, and we're exchanging dollars, getting our own cryptocurrency. We run that. You know what I'm saying? We run that. That's not even governed by anybody.
Brother Kuabo.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, stay there, my brother. Bring my brother in Nigeria. In Jamaica. So, brother,
right.
hold on a second, right there, brother, in the United States. So, brother Ross. So, obviously, talking about the power of Jamaica, because Jamaica has a massive role to play on that regard.
Yes,
the African has a massive role. Help us to break it down in terms of politics and culture, because Jamaica has been a leader when it comes to black pride, black love, black unity.
In addition, my friend, to what our brothers have been saying, first of all, we must remember that there's no such thing as white supremacy. That's only a theory, as what the brother says. Because if we continue to recognize white supremacy, then what we're saying is that we have black inferiority, and we don't, and that's not a reality. So just to the brothers. So once those of us who is fully liberated, remember, within our bloodline, Brother Kuabo, your DNA of who you are from beginning of your creation is within your blood. We're now in a dispensation where the true African children, we speak of earth rightful rulers. Remember, we must first discredit and abandon white supremacy and their constitution. These constitution has deprived us of our own space, of our own land, our own birthright, our own resources. The African is fully capable of doing commerce and all realities of science and everything of development. The African was always the creator, not the innovator. So you see, that is not missing. What has been missing, my beloved, is that the final realization that there's no such thing as white supremacy. There's white racism and white evil and all these things, but there's no such thing as white supremacy, right? And we're not in that so-called very, very low mental human form of intellectual thought. We are universal. We've always been the great creators of the pyramid. Right now, the churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia, which were built in the 12th century when civilization was supposed to be all over creation. Those were built in the 12th century. And if our listeners was to go into their smartphone and put in Church of Lalibela, they will see that there's no modern instrument, no modern technology that could have built them. So you see, our spirituality without apology as a definition faculty to it. And where Jamaica is concerned, remember, Jamaica and Ethiopia are on the same degree, the same minutes, the same second. So you'll find that we're right on the same line, a very straight line. So it is not a coincidence that within the Western Hemisphere, where everyone looks at Jamaica as the center of the Caribbean, they're not wrong. On the philosophy of revelation, there has to be a new faculty of interpretation for the 21st century. And it is going to come from Jamaica, because Jamaica is very, very from ancient civilization, India, China, Ethiopia, Western Europeans, right through the Caribbean, all is impacted, and what has galvanized all the different cultural impression is Ethiopia philosophy that came through the Rastas in the early 1930s that revealed the crowning of His Imperial Majesty, the Black King, the Christ in his kingly character. So Jamaica, our position is not a coincidence why Jamaica has so much world beater, both in the sporting athletics, and if you go through everything of African liberation in the Caribbean, you'll find it was from this island here that Bookman went to Ethiopia, created Ethiopian with our black brothers and sisters, the Ethiopian Revolution, and it was the same one from here again in Jamaica that went to America and started the underground train that started to bring out our black people from out of enslavement into Canada. So Jamaica, my beloved, our history is not simple. That is why Jamaica culture is the most powerful culture of the 21st century. And it is something that people don't realize the fullness of what we represent. But we know what we represent. We know what this rock here, and we know that the greatest order as ordained that Jamaica will present to the world the new faculty of interpretation for the 21st century. That is a fact without apology.
Go to the studio right here before we go to Brother Mari. So to our special guest, talking about America, because our ancestors, the world really don't fully understand how our ancestor impact America, because we literally built America. So, but why even ourselves? We also got to blame ourselves. Why we not really highlight the great achievement of our ancestors, because we built that country from ground up. So
we were there. It's not even that we built it; we was already there.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We don't. I was driving coming in from. There's a brother y'all know out here in the UK named Brother Paul, and you learn a lot when you sit around somebody long enough. I'm driving back with him from London for 4 hours. We riding back, and as we coming back, he started telling me about Oxford and Cambridge, and how when people go to these schools, and after a while, people, they chase the money. Like, these people who know this are not going to tell us this because they're not going to get paid. Listen, Carter G. Woodson, which is this book right here, The Miseducation of the Negro, in his book, he said, no people can go forward when the majority of those who should know better have chosen to go backwards. That is exactly what our misleaders do. So those that are supposed to know better choose to go backwards for the money. And if you really read his book, he was ousted in Howard. How are you not going to have a holiday for this man when he started what you say Black History Month? Why nobody talks? Listen, I've been around for a minute. I have never heard nobody never talk about the man who started Negro Week. But you talk about everybody else. You know why? Because they're the safe ones. So who do we blame? We have to blame ourselves. You follow me? We have to blame. So as the brother's telling me this, as are we coming from London, he says, Sabir, if you study Cambridge, if you study Oxford, he's telling me this in the car, and I'm like, I think in my head, I'm saying this, I think I'm on the wrong team. I need to shut up and go over there with them and get paid. But this is what happens. But sometimes you got to pay the price, bruh. I'm being real. You got to, because I've been on radio for 15 years. I've sacrificed so much. I had a newspaper. I had a lot of things. But no, I don't run around here claiming I'm the this and I'm the that. No. But I see what's going on. So those people that sit back and say, let's put this together, they say, no, we're not going to back him because he's going to take money out of our pockets. We're not going to talk. To get the money out your pocket syndrome, like Malcolm, get your hand out my pocket. That's what they're dealing with. Our people. It ain't always these Europeans that y'all keep talking about. It's our people. Like the brother over here just said from Rock, he's talking about the unity. You got to go internationally trading with people. Where's your passport have to go? That passport is your trading piece to go to these places to sit with these people. You follow me? That's your key to go network. The key is to network and then bring everything back to the States, and from the States bring it back out here.
Wow. Going to the United States real quick, brother Murray. Listen, we definitely gonna have to book, man, a 3-hour show, 3 or 4 hour show, because the show's about to finish. we still gotta go. I say, brother, mind me out there. We got a special guest as well in Ghana.
Oh, we got Ghana in the building. Okay.
Oh, they ready. They're ready.
I said
in Ghana, they ready. No, back home, right in the continent. They're waiting for us, right in the continent. Just need to make a call. So, but go to Brother Mari. Why are people not really highlight the great achievement of our ancestors? Because we built traffic lights, we built we built a lot of stuff, but we still celebrate Columbus Day. We're still celebrating what days? We celebrate all days.
Christmas.
Hitler Day. We celebrate all days.
Did you say Hitler Day?
Memorial Day.
Trust me, if you come Hitler Day, we're gonna celebrate Hitler Day because we. So tell us why we don't really highlight the great achievement of our ancestors right there in the especially in the United States, because we had a great builders over there. Go ahead, bro.
Well, as we all know, it's the lack of knowledge, as we all know, and I firmly feel like, unfortunately, the elders leave it up to the Europeans to teach us about us. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of our people complaining about, oh, they're not teaching this in school, they're not teaching that in school, and Brother Sabir Bey, he hit it on the head earlier about going back to our culture. First of all, we never lost our culture. It's not like misplace your culture. There's no such thing. We was cut off from our culture. You know what I'm saying? So what we have to do is we have to teach. And the problem is, how can your elder teach you something they don't know? So we recognize that through slavery, because of us being cut off, the ancestors, the elders, then could not teach us something that they were ignorant to. Now what you have is brothers like Sabir, who's teaching people that's older than him their own culture. So now we're going backwards. It's just like the book he just mentioned, and with Carter G. Wilson. How can you go forward when you're going backwards? How can you take somebody like me who's 40 plus years old, who's now educating his grandmother about our bloodline, about where we come from? You understand what I'm saying? That's backwards. We all know that that's not the way it works. Your elders teach you those things. So our problem is, unfortunately, we become too dependent upon the same one who's killing us, both spiritually and physically. That's what the problem is, man. What I'm saying? It's the lack of knowledge. And I do also have to add what our brother is saying to myself. Also, I source brothers like yourself. Brother Kuabo, you growed up in the motherland. I totally agree with what Sabir is saying, because my Wale my teacher, is born and raised in Ghana. Born and raised. My other Wale is Yoruba. He's literally a prince from Yoruba. You understand? So we have to go back to the source. We have to go back to the source, and the source is our own, to help to educate us so we can better understand ourselves. And that's one of the prayer in Ifa that we pray. It's to the ancestors, to a gungun. It's to teach us about you so that we can know about ourselves. You can't learn about the ancestors without learning about yourself. And I'm pause there.
Wow. So go ahead. We still got the elder in Jamaica, but go ahead.
What the brother told me, Paul
Yes,
told
my
me
brother,
as we were
I'm here.
coming back. Brother Paul said, all history is our history. And I said, you're right. He said, I'm going to repeat this again. He said, all history is our history.
It's our history.
What did he mean by that? Our history. I caught it automatically, because whatever happened in our past is what's making us who we are today, but we are the ones that have to fix it. We have to fix all the ills that was going on. He told me the story of Malcolm X and what happened and how his family was raped and what made Malcolm. And at the end of Malcolm's life, Malcolm said he wished he didn't turn a European away. This is what he said. So what was he trying to say? He has to fix the problem. We have to fix our problems within ourselves first before we try to fix somebody else.
Wow.
He also said, find peace within yourself, then the world would be at peace. I said, wait a minute. He said, find peace within yourself, and then you will find peace in the world. I'm sitting in the car like, he probably think I wasn't listening, but if you're listening to this, I could repeat him verbatim.
Wow.
As he's talking to me in the car yesterday.
Wow, wow, wow.
Come on, man.
Wow. Brothers and sisters, so we definitely gonna we got about 10 minutes left, 10-15 minutes left. Going to Jamaica real quick. Obviously the question to you, straightforward, brother. You got about 2 minutes, Elder, but we definitely gonna have you again because you got so many information to drop it. So whatever we talk to you off air, you just send us information that, especially what's going on in African Union. So and Ethiopia is playing a big part. So what can we do now, knowing that they're gonna come heavy on us? What can we do for next year? What can we prepare for next year?
Well, His Majesty, as you know, what's already happening cannot be stopped, Brother Kuabo. The whole African each state is coming together. You know, both the diaspora on the continent and the Caribbean. We all come into a centralized reality towards the whole unification of the continent. And obviously, it must be the discredit and the abandonment of Western constitution that white supremacists say they rule us and rule our resources. That must be the reality. You know, this is why we've put to, as you know, I'm also a representative of the National Council of Reparation here in Jamaica, which has been very effective towards those courses, and many issues has been raised throughout both in the diaspora. What I'm now spearheading is for us to have a proper conference in the UK, because that is where we need to finalize the whole reality. As for ourselves, as what our brother says, reparation is yourself. And the reason why many of our great inventors are not being celebrated is because they had the European enslaved name, like Mr. Johnson and Mr. Pasteur, whether they were French or English or Scottish, right? They had the European name, so all of them was all their invention is under Mr. Macpherson or Mr. Johnson or Mr. Stevenson, which doesn't. And you know, when we speak to emancipate yourself from mental slavery, when you connect and look in the mirror and know your spirituality, then your name is wrong, isn't it? You know, when people talking about connecting to our ancestors, but what is your name? You're still Mr. Smith and Mr. White. You haven't even you're not even, gone and changed it. And it's very easy for our people to do that, because no matter what part of the continent you are from, those of us still has the physical resemblance. And if we're directly from the original line, it's in our DNA as well. So, it's no problem for us to reclaim our name. As for myself, my name as an Ethiopian came to my baptism in the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo faith. My name is Paulus, and that is the name that I go by. That's the name I bracket amongst my so-called family name. Between my family name.
Hold on, Heather. Why is Rash Ho-Shing then? Why is Rash Ho-Shing? Why is that? Why is Rash Ho-Shing?
Rash means a king, as you know. Ho-Shing is my family name. Okay. Right, but when His Majesty, right, as a child, it was Legisu Tafari Makonnen, his father's name. When he became regent, he became Rastafari. When he became the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of the Almighty, his name is now Haile Selassie. So when we call His Imperial Majesty, we call him by that name, Haile Selassie, because that's the name of him, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, Christ in his kingly character.
Wow. Go ahead.
Let me share this with the brother. You know, I had a name probably over 10 years ago that was given to me, and I don't even use it, from an Ethiopian sister, and she said it was called Ras Jibra. I don't even use Ras Jibra. It was given to me 10 years ago, but I don't use it. That's old, but nobody knows that it was given to me. But people don't know that history. And let me go back to the names.
There you
real
go,
quick.
my brother.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Bring it up. Bring it up. What do you say? I can't hear him.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Say
ahead.
it, bro.
We here, Elder. Hello, Jamaica.
Yes, my
Brother.
brother. I'm just agreeing with my brother because you see, as you know, Ethiopians an African name defines you. It defines who you are. It defines your spirit within you. So when you get a Babylonian name and carry the name of shame, what you're doing is separating yourself from your ancient ancestors. Well, my name is Paulus because I recognize myself as an Ethiopian Upper Kemet, Kush.
Go ahead, break it down. So, Elder. Anyway, I think look, we got about 10 minutes now. So we still got a special guest, dropping down some knowledge. We got a brother in the United States, Brother Mari, and then obviously our great elder in Jamaica, the land of Marcus Garvey, the land of Bob Marley. So any last message to the entire family, Elder, before I let you go? Any last message, because we definitely going to have to do again.
His Majesty gave us these final words. How are we to survive in the 21st century? His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie, he declares first we must connect back to the Creator, the Almighty. We must become bigger than we've ever been. We must become more ampler in our outlook. And we must no longer owe allegiance to nation, but to the brotherhood of the divine order of creation. The sons and daughters of the Almighty. The sons and daughters of the Almighty Lord Sabir.
And
that is what His Majesty said. Well, that is what it is.
Any last wishes for the entire family for next year, real quick?
Well, we are fulfilling the time that we're in. Africa, Ethiopia stretched forth her hands, and she has said to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Sends my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. And those of us who know the fullness of our history, Ethiopian Upper Kemet, they will understand what we are talking, because the time of the 2012 calendar, it's now in, my friend. So it is not what I wish, it's what is going to be. Earth rightful rulers are going to repossess earth and rule it according to, in the beginning, in a righteous and just manner. And that's what it is, Kuabo. And the beast and the dragon, we have no problem with the beast and the dragon. And those of us who knows what I'm talking will know exactly what I'm saying. We have no problems with them either. Because the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed, Brother Kuabo.
Peace and blessings. We definitely gonna break it down again. We're gonna switch you off again. Anyway, so
give thanks and praises to my brothers all over.
All right,
and the time is a time. The time is a time within time, and we know the time. Rastafari.
So going to the United States real quick. Before we give the all mic to our special guest. So, Brother Omari, what are we preparing to do for next year? So, what can we go about it next year? Because if they increase the racism, that's what they claim to be. That's going to be. So, what can we do as collective, as one? Not about just individual, but as one. What can we do?
With all due respect, brother, it's already been said. It's really just that simple. You know what I'm saying? It's everything's already been said. Interconnecting, working with one another, and first of all, fighting each other. I mean, how can a kingdom divided stand? That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So the vision should be everybody working together, increasing their knowledge and wisdom and understanding, again, of our spirituality and our economics. You know what I'm saying? Financial literacy is one of the main things that's destroying us. How can you keep somebody in poverty with the knowledge of how to get wealth? That don't make sense. Even if it's a Fortune 500 business that crumble, with that knowledge and wisdom that got them to being that, they can still bounce back because they have what? The knowledge and the wisdom and understanding about financial literacy. We have to learn the game book. And in order for us to win this game, we got to learn the rules. Bottom line, if you want to learn the rules, you know what I'm saying? And you want to gain knowledge, wisdom, understanding, then you serious. But if you want to keep losing, keep sitting there, keep praying, keep thinking that, you know, somebody going to come out the sky and save us, and we're going to still remain in the same place. We have to save ourselves. And that's just the bottom line.
Wow. Last message to the entire family, and then last message to our special guest right here in the studio, real quick, my brother.
Respond to one, when my brother was talking about the name, it's very simple. There's a show that y'all should check it out. Malcolm X was on a TV show. Malcolm X, they asked him what was his real name. And he said Malcolm X. And he said, well, did you go to court to change your name? He said, well, did they go to court to take the name? They would never have that type of conversation on air anymore. If you go look at Malcolm X on the TV show when he was very common, he said, not disrespecting you, but did they go to court to take the name? So why would we go to court to go pay to get another name? You follow me? So that's what he was saying. Two, if we're talking about economics, where's the armies at? We have an army. The most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we have an army you see and an army you don't see. I'm going to repeat this one more time. The most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and I know some people are afraid to say his name, but I'm not afraid to say it. But he said, we have an army you see and an army that you don't see. The army that you don't see is the one that you call gangbangers. How many of these cats you see in the conscious community are sitting in the hoods with these people? How many of these conscious people you seeing walking around in the hood? I'll be at the Wild Hunters in Chicago. I'm in Compton. I'm in Watts. I'm in everywhere from Philadelphia. So where's these cats there talking to them? The business people on the streets is the ones. I grew up in Philadelphia. I'm not ashamed to say I sold crack, dude. I did. I was there. You can't hold it over my head. I did it. So I looked at that and said, wait a minute. The most business people are on the streets. We were cooking coke, and how do we know how to do that? That's a chemist. To cook cocaine up with baking soda with a little jar and use a little hanger. That's a chemist. Okay, the negotiator is the businessman. Let's talk about it for a minute. That's business. The cat that counts the money is the accountant. They didn't nobody go to school. We didn't go to accounting school to know that. But I had a brother that was counting $200,000 to $300,000, and he only went to the 8th grade. And I'm sitting like, whoa, how did 8th grade? But I'm sitting watching him count, not with a machine. But how did he know how to count the money? So we need to take that, right, and show the brothers on the street, let's take what you're doing and come over here. And that's why Jay-Z said, I'm a businessman, not a businessman. Let me handle my business, damn. That's why he said that. You don't even get it. If you came from the streets for real, you would know how to take this and switch it. I came in the nation when I was 17. I left the nation when I was about 18, 19. I got shot at 19 years old. I got shot twice. I left the nation, but I went in the nation to leave the streets. But when I left the streets, when I left the nation, I went in the streets and got shot in a shootout. But understanding that the nation was there for a reason. And I came under the first resurrection. I don't know about these new ones, but I was in the first, as a young man, in the first. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The first resurrection, before we got what we have today. So it was a total difference. So again, we got to go to the streets. And brother is an elder in Philadelphia named Taj Tariq Bey. Taj Tariq Bey will say, the nation is not in a building, it's outside. That's where the nation's at. Not in a building.
Brother Mari, last word to the entire family worldwide, my brother. So it's like, we definitely going to have you again as well. But last message to the entire family worldwide, my brother. Brother Mari, right in the United States.
Sure. It's just like Brother Sabir Bey said, we have to reach those who, are lost, man. I think a lot of us, we spend a lot of time arguing with each other that are supposed to be conscious, but I don't see where the consciousness is at. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be out here resurrecting the minds of the people. So my advice, because I'm seeing this and it's spreading too much, we fighting with each other. And brother, I know I heard the attacks on you too, King. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop fighting each other, and we need to get back to love, man. Bottom line, love is not weakness, love is strength. You know what I'm saying? And what Brother Sabir Bay just talked about is love. Who will go out there in the hoods and try to take the gangster off the blocks? Only those who have love in their heart. You know what I'm saying? So we got to unlock our minds, man, and really understand what love really is, because that's what is the foundation of a nation, man, is love. That's all I have, King.
Wow. Peace and blessings, brother. Oh, go.
I want to give thanks to you too, brother. When I first moved to California, if you go to YouTube, and they only attack me, brother, because I'm telling the truth. I'm fine with it. I've been doing this for a very long time. I know how to bob and weave. You know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me. So they can attack all they want, but they're not going to be a man to confront me. That's the problem. So I don't mind it. So when I moved to California, I was in Inglewood. And if you go to the video, the barbershop talk, I had a Crip in the blood inside the barbershop with me. And those that Crip in the blood on the video said we were not supposed to sit in the same room together. He said, but we are in this room because you're in here. And those two brothers came into this whole Moorish movement. When I moved to California, that happened.
Wow. So, Brother Maverick, so peace and blessings, man. It's such amazing, such a pleasure to have you. We definitely gonna get in touch because we still got a lot of business to do with me and you anyway. But
okay, brother.
Peace and blessings, and then send the blessings to all the brothers and sisters over there in Rochester. Are you in Rochester, Florida now?
Rochester, New York. I'm born and raised. That's where I'm from. I always represent Rock City, but I live in Oakland, Tennessee, down here, where we had pretty much expanded our real estate venture here. That's why we moved up here. So we in Tennessee now.
Wow. Peace and blessings, brother. So keep in touch, and then I'll see you next year with the Black Power Spirit.
Okay, thank you. And also, Brother Sabir, I appreciate that love back, man. And again, I'm gonna keep following you on YouTube, man. Keep dropping them jewels, King.
Wow. Peace and blessings, brother. Peace and blessings. So, brothers, let me just sit stop. Bring my camera real quick, because we moving fast, brother. Oh yeah, we still got about 5.
My son is trying to. No, my son is trying to call me.
So brothers,
it's all good.
we still gotta go to Africa, man. Like the brothers been waiting for so long. But anyway, talking about now the solution, brothers. What in your humble thought, what can we do practically now to really come together? Because at the end of the day, it ain't just about one of us. It's about all of us.
It's not about one person.
It's about all of us.
It's about bridging the gaps. And we got to understand that Africa, like the video was on, Africa is Tunis, Africa is Tangiers, Africa is Ethiopia, Sudan, Somalia. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to everything. Communication is the key to everything. Get outside your comfort zone, man. Talk to other people and build bridges. That's what we got to do, and educate people. When I'm on my journey, I'm educating people. I was in France. I had people in the Starbucks in France sitting there talking to brothers that I didn't even know. I'm in Barcelona. I may be in Tunis. I may be wherever. But we have to communicate with the masses of the people.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Hold on. Bring my camera. Going to Ghana real quick. Now we in Ghana. So we just left Rochester. Now we in Ghana real quick. So peace and blessings. Tell us your name and where you calling from. I know we in Ghana, but just emphasize to our brothers and sisters. Can you hear me? Can you hear us, brother? Caller?
Yes, I can hear you now, brother.
Okay, great. So tell us what you calling from and what you're doing for the family, brother.
I'm calling from Kumasi in Ghana, Ashanti region, where the king Hossein the second leads.
So real quick, you calling from Kumasi. I know you've been doing a lot of stuff over there. Yeah. You are activist, you are poet, you everything. So help us to describe Ghana right now, because everybody moving to Ghana. So we got brothers and sisters, and Ghana leading the returning. The president welcomed our brothers and sisters to return home. So what do you think about Ghana right now in terms of the movement, the African movement, Pan-Africanist movement?
Ghana is the gateway to Africa. Ghana is where you connect. When you come, you connect with your ancestors physically, emotionally, and psychologically. So Ghana is the gateway to Africa, the gateway to your spirit. Find your answers, connect with your soul, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Okay, so go straight to the question because we got really so we're asking the question to all of our family worldwide. 2020, the level of racism will increase to all black people all over the world. So what can we do as a family, my brother? In your opinion, what can you do as a family?
Okay, what I want to say is black people need to understand that racism against black people will not stop anytime soon. So we should unite as one force to have a strong voice that will sound loud enough socially, politically, economic wise. Will be less vulnerable to the white racism, because when black people rise up together, it threatens the total control of black. We need to have banks, hospitals, schools, supermarkets, and many more owned by black people as part of empowerment agenda that will put us in total control of our generations to come, by educating people to understand how hard is it for black people to survive in this racial world, ensuring the health of the people are upfront, because a healthy nation thrives through all storms. Keeping the wealth and money of the people are controlled by their own black people, not preying on the black people, make the money out of them to push them into poverty. For example, all these black rich celebrities can come together or set up schools, hospitals, banks, and other institutions that will be affordable for black communities, and most especially kids from the project blocks hood that can attend, not for the black rich community. I must appreciate what Dr. Omar Johnson is doing now for purchasing school, Frederick Douglass and Marco Garvey School, which will educate the black kids from the project and instill our black and Africa within them, because they are the next generation. And I'm hoping to meet him. Soon or anytime.
Okay, go ahead, brother. You want to interfere real quick?
Listen.
Stay there, my brother. Stay there. Go ahead.
We listen, man. We are the schools. Wherever we at, we are the schools. We don't always need a physical. We don't have to reinvent a will. The will is already there. I'm listening to what the Baba is saying right now. Our brothers from Ghana need to stop using the term black. Period. I wasn't even going to say this. I really wasn't. And then we'll say, well, it doesn't matter what we call ourselves.
Go ahead.
It does matter what we call ourselves, because words have vibrations in it. You follow me? This is what a young brother from Congo told me in, where was we at? Matter of fact, in your house. He said, words have vibrations. You know for sure that we don't call ourselves black over there. That is a modern day term. Why do we keep saying we need schools for these things when there's already supposed to be schools set up already before we were born? If you're going to put a school up and teach the same thing that's being taught in these other schools, you're not teaching anything different. Unless you want to come in and tell our people who they truly are. Tell our people that people in Ghana was part of slavery. They had a part in the hand in slavery. Let's keep it real. They did. We don't want to talk about that kind of stuff, though. So let's be real with it. We're not being real with each other. So that's the miseducation. You say, what can we do? Tell the truth. Tell the truth, and maybe we'll get something done. Come on, man. We got to stop playing, man.
Wow. Brother, going back to the land of Kwame Nkrumah. So, brother mentioned about the truth.
Yes, bro.
Because at the end of the day, we got the Chinese over there controlling a lot of stuff in Ghana. Let's be honest. We got the Chinese, we got the European. So, what are we preparing to do about the economy? And some of the brothers here, they mentioned the economy. We're not controlling anything, really. Yeah. So, what are we preparing to do in the continent next year?
This is one voice we are preaching, as my brother is saying. We need to let the truth go out there. Let people understand who we are, where we are coming from. And I think if we understand where we are coming from, since the 17th, the 16th century. We've been king and queens from that time up till now. But we are being slave mentally. So I think as part of educating black people, as my senior brother is doing, I think this is a powerful tool for people to understand we need to take control of everything that we own. And that is the spirit we need to work on. Togetherness, unity, and words is very powerful, as my senior brother is saying now. So we can use words to change things and to empower people. So for our economy, we need to do it ourselves. We shouldn't push it to the white.
So obviously, we've really come close to the end of our show. But just the last word for the entire family worldwide. A last word to the African family worldwide. Obviously, I like to mention black. My brother here said no black. So what is your last word to the family worldwide?
My last words are: let's use our culture to promote what we own. Words are powerful. So we should educate ourselves through positive vibes. That will push us together. And if we want to, we cannot overcome racism. It will never happen. But if we have one loud voice, we can minimize it.
Thank you.
Rise again.
Brother, we definitely gonna have you again as well. So we moving really, really fast. But it's such a pleasure to have you, even though just to hear a little of your voice, and we're definitely gonna be connected. And send our special greetings, a special shout out to all of our family in Ghana.
Sure. I will do so.
Right. So bring my camera. We got about now we got 2 minutes. You got it. So tell us any last word that you want to share with the family. I know you're here, you're on the tour.
I'm not necessarily on the. I'm not.
Yeah, you're on the tour.
Yeah, you're moving. I'm on archaeological tour.
Yeah,
I guess you can call it that, huh?
Yeah. So, what message you want to send it to the entire family worldwide about really us connecting? Because it's about time.
I keep saying it, brother. Tell the truth or get out the country, brother. I'm gonna keep saying it. That's it. Don't look no deeper into it. It's just tell the truth and let's get out the country. You know, and I tell people that, and I use that from Ibn Khaldun. He's saying, tell the truth. We must tell the truth. You know, let's talk about the truth. Let's talk about really what's going to save us. Let's not, we keep saying we need to build schools for black kids. No, dude, build kids' school for what? The school's already here. They're not their schools. They're your schools if you know how. And especially in the States. How are you sitting here saying you got an HBCU, but you're not talking about our history before slavery? Let's keep it real. Why is it when I walk into an African American museum in a state, it only starts in the 1600s? My history didn't start in the 1600s, brother. It was before the 1600s. Come on, let's be real with it. Why we don't go before that?
So, good. That's a good question. So, brother, I know. Obviously, y'all been dropping a lot of information to the family worldwide, and also really to challenge our people to think. So, do you reckon 2020 it's going to be a year of us really to stepping up as a family?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Like the elder said, it's going to happen regardless. The problem is one person can't step up, because if one person step up because of our people, and again, I said we got to dig inside ourselves because of the jealousy and envy, we would try to take our people out. Look at the brother Nipsey Hussle. Who killed him? I don't care if somebody sent somebody in. If a European sent him in, you're that weak that you would kill your brother? Not even in the way they killed the brother. Literally stood over top of him and shot him again. Nobody can make me, nor can I hate my brother that much to make me want to kill you unless you touch my daughter. That's it. But why? Again, we have to check ourselves. because we have so much jealousy, envy, and hate within ourselves. And that's why I said find peace within yourself, and then you'll find peace in the world. And then you'll see your brother as yourself. If you don't know something, say, I don't know it, then go research it. It is that simple. It's not complicated. Much as I've been through in my life, I should hate black folks right about now. It wasn't no white man that shot me 5 times. It wasn't no white, you know what I mean? It wasn't no white man. It was what I was doing. It's reactions. It's karma. So I may have been in a good place. I wasn't in the streets when I got shot the second time. Yeah, second time. But I wasn't in the streets. I was at peace doing this. But my karma caught up with me. And that's what happened. Ooh. Come on, man.
Wow. So obviously, people don't want us to finish, but we really have to finish. But we got one of our brothers. Well, this is the last call. This is the last call from Scotland. Tell us who you are. What's your name, my brother?
I'm Kinkela Wamazulu. Kinkela Wamazulu. I'm from Glasgow. I'm an activist and I have a school or an academy where we teach what my brother is saying. What we are, not teaching us what we should do to survive or to make our money or to buy our cars and houses, but to know what we really are.
Okay, so I know you're based in Glasgow, Scotland, but tell us where your base, where you actually from.
Yeah, I'm from the Congo Kingdom. That's what I'm from. I'm part from Kuabo Kingdom and the Zulu Kingdom, so I share this both heritage.
So, question really quick, my brother, before we let you go. 2020, the racism against African people will increase. So, what are we preparing to do?
What I believe is a good opportunity, and I will say one to my brother. Never think about we see and the army we don't see. Actually, we have that feeling that we don't have an army, but there is an army on the street. And I say thank you to my brother, because from tomorrow I will try to join the army on the street. I think for what is coming, I will see it as an opportunity for us to understand, as long as Africa is not free, as long as we don't make decisions in Africa, we don't have respect, and those people come after us. So I think this is the time to go back into resistance. And Kwame Nkrumah and all the other, and that we forgot the resistance. Mostly half of the continent. We forgot, and we lie with the enemy, and we thought we become the enemy, we become the friends, but in 2020, we're gonna discover another truth. We are not the friends. You know, we're gonna discover this truth very, very, very soon. So I will take that as an opportunity to come back. We need to go back. We need to free. Africa should come first. As long as Africa is not free, the black man will never be free. Whenever we go, we never want to be free. I think we should think about that, to rebuild the Pan-African base and resistance, and going actually back, as Mark Garvey was saying, to free the continent. So my action plan for 2020 is to go back to free the continent.
Thank you, my brother. Go ahead.
Because we always quote.
Thank you, my brother.
We always quote Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. But there's one man that nobody talks about, and that's Noble Drew Ali. I want y'all to research him. We don't talk about Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali is the one that came to our people to tell our people that we were not Negro, black, and colored folks. In 1774, our nationality was taken. In 1779, Negro, black, and colored was placed on us. So why we don't talk about Noble Drew Ali? Why is this man is unheard of? I've been in different places, and I'm like, they said, well, who is that? Well, why you don't know about who this man is? He meant something to us in the States. It ain't just Marcus Garvey. He was around the time of Marcus Garvey, but why we don't hear about him? We talk about and we praise Garvey, ain't nothing wrong with it, but what about Noble Drew Ali? Even though you don't supposed to praise no man, but we praise Martin Luther King. We praise Barack Obama, but we totally forget who Noble Drew Ali is. Stop playing, man. Come on.
Wow.
We got to stop, G.
Wow. So, brother, I'll leave you the mic. A last word. 1 minute. Last word to the entire family worldwide, my brother.
Go to the website, thesabirbaseshow.com.
Straightforward.
Straightforward, bro. I'm straightforward. Go to the website, thesabirbaseshow.com, and check out the website.
Wow. So I heard it, brothers. It was such a pleasure to have the brother, obviously, because
pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah, he's on a mission, and then shout out to absolutely our brothers that really came to the show and then gave us the
Shout out to
information.
Sister Empress. You can't forget her, man.
Oh, definitely, no, most definitely.
Can't forget Sister Sonia, who actually turned me on. I got Sister Sonia on my Facebook.
You did that definitely. So we want to send especially shout out to this amazing queen. She's a leader. She's a queen, and she's moving the African consciousness here in Manchester, and to some extent in the UK as well, because we need our queens strong, and she's the one. She's been representing. She's been standing out to really make our brothers and sisters feel the African vibe through the. She does a lot of things. She does a lot of herbs.
Yeah, she do.
She really, she's amazing. So you need to check out www.divinehealthyliving.com.uk. Am I right?
Yes.
.com.uk.
She just made me some sea moss, bro.
.com. No UK. Just .com.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So I just want you to jump. Yeah. Just come to the camera real quick, just to say one word to the family, because and then I want the brother to come to the camera as well. So we here, as you notice, this is our parliament. So we're gonna send a special shout out all together. So I want you to come to the camera, my brother. Come to the camera. Come to the camera. Make sure the camera is right. So now the queen is not there. You see the camera right there?
Come on, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's the camera right there. That's the camera right there.
Let me get out the way.
No, you're all together. You're one all together, right? You got it, Queen. Okay, good. So, brother, I want a last word, a message to the queens and to the kings. A best wishes for the next year.
Well,
Let me make sure I got the mic right, and then make sure. No, you can still look
Here?
this way more.
This way.
Oh, we go. You see yourself over there, right? Look.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, good. So go ahead. You got 1 minute.
Greetings, Infinite Love family. We are going into what's called 2020, which is the year of vision. We've got to use our inner vision in order to replenish ourselves, make sure that we are seeding our purpose and living our purpose. Otherwise, what's the point of us being here? It's a time of vision. So ensure that your health is right, your spirituality, your purpose in terms of being awake and living the life that is for yourself and for your future. We are one family. Let's unite.
Wow.
Let's unite.
One word for the queens. One word for the entire queens all over the world.
Queens, love yourself. That's all I can say. You love yourself, you're gonna love your family. Your family will be stronger. Love yourself so that you can heal.
Right.
Peace
And
love.
then just one more question. Did I spell right? So how can people get in touch with you? And for what you're doing as well.
Okay, to get in touch with me, you can check my website, which is www.divinehealthyliving.com. I'm involved with health, body MOT. I've got a winter solace sale on at the moment, so please check that out. That's a body MOT biochemical assessment. You need to check your health inside out. We cannot just walk around days. We need to make sure that our health is in proper check.
Wow. And obviously we also give the mic to, you can pick that mic over there. So last message to the entire family worldwide, my brother. I know you're into, you got a machine or something to provide water change. I don't know. Can you explain just 1 minute about what kind of machine? Because I saw you demonstrating the machine at one of the event. I think it was yesterday. No, the day before. Can you just explain to us really quick, because you got about 1 minute, what exactly you're doing?
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Right there. Okay, good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here today. So What I do, I am independent distributor for Japanese company. We promote water ionizer, so which is certified as a medical device in Japan. So the water, is alkaline. It's good for the body. As we all know that, as our sister already said, health is very important in our daily life. So, and water is something that we specialize. So if you wanna find out more, get in touch. WhatsApp me on the 075 137 81212. I do live event, and I do house-to-house demonstrations. So if you wanna some free demonstration, you get in touch, and we can help. So for the family, enagicweb.com.
Magic Web.
enagicweb.com.
Spell that for the people, man.
Yes, spell that for the people. Yes.
Oh,
So you got it.
My host joining on right now.
We got listeners and followers listening all over. Then you got the brothers over there with this network as well. So make sure you get the information right before we go.
That's sport.
You got it? Okay, good. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Bemanuel enagicweb.com.
Okay.
Can you spell it?
Can you spell it?
BREMANUEL enagicweb enagicweb.com.
Okay. I think brothers and sisters got the information.
Yeah.
One word for the kings, real quick before we go. One word for the kings.
For the kings, unity is the only solution for us. Unity.
Wow. Okay, we got it. So we picked information. So brothers and sisters, one more time, bring my camera now. So next year, it's been amazing. It's been amazing having our special guest here, Brother Sabir. It's absolutely amazing. So you got to check out his body of work, because it speaks for itself anyway. So you don't talk much. Oh yeah, yes, we end up with a song. So, but brothers, share the message. Let the family know, because it's about us. It's about education. It's about love. It's about unity. It's about us coming together from all over the world. And remember, it ain't just about one of us. It's about all of us.
Unity.
No doubt.
Exactly. So I'll end with the brother Shabir's song, Steve Wonder. That's why he wanted to play that music. So we're gonna close up, but one more time, shout out to absolutely all of our brothers and sisters. Keep following, and this is the last show of the year anyway. So as we packing, we're getting ready to go to Africa, doing the work, working with the school and the orphanage. You know what we do normally, right? When we're going over there, change the curriculum, because until today, we still have the Europeanized curriculum system of education in Africa. Wherever you go, they're still learning about Queen Elizabeth, Queen Christopher Colombo. They learn all about it.
Wow.
Napoleon Bonaparte, the Portuguese, whatever. So that's why what we're trying to simply do is to go out there and then change completely. Take all of them and teach our own kings and queens, our own values, our own tradition. That's what we do. Simple. So we're getting ready to go. We're leaving on the 26th in 2 days. And we're going to be in Congo, Uganda, and Angola. Peace and blessings, and keep supporting this movement. It ain't about us, it's about all of us.
Yeah.
Alfa Kuabo, we out, and then I'll see you next year, same time, aka show every single Sunday, bringing to you the best of ourselves. And please support our people. Support the great work of our people. Support Brother Sabir. Support our great Queen Divine, and our brothers too. Our brother too over there as well. He came from the land of Queen Zinga, by the way, anyway. So he didn't want to mention, but I'll give that. Peace and blessings, and I'll see you with this amazing track. One love.
In 1492, you came up